This is not real.
Don't Look Up. That was such a great movie. Netflix did a great job with that. They really did. And we know that because of Red Notice, another movie, another blockbuster, and probably this as well, Netflix has changed its strategy. They want to do more big studio productions because of the impact that it has. It has a much bigger impact than them having these straight to DVD type. Netflix movies have been the 2010s version of straight to DVD, right? So now we're in obviously a new decade. We're well into the new decade. It's 2022 now, and now they're changing their strategy for this new decade, for this new era, and it's all about blockbusters, getting that attention. I made a video when I broke down why that strategy makes sense, but I don't want to get into that too much because I really want to talk about Don't Look Up, because this has been just a great, funny movie. Now, I want to start off by saying that a lot of people watch movies and they say they don't like it. They just kind of judge movies and say it's bad or it's good without really understanding why they don't like it or why they do like it. And for me, when it comes down to, I don't necessarily think that a movie can be good or bad unless, of course, the basic things are not there. Like, for example, the basic necessities are good storytelling or good story structuring, right? Good acting, and good production, right? And when it comes to Hollywood, typically that's the foundation. They give you that typically. Some Hollywood movies lack in the storytelling part, in the story structuring part, even in the dialogue part. But for the most part, you're getting a movie and it's gonna have those basic ingredients. So when we're talking about movies from that basic ingredients, and obviously Meryl Streep and Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence, they're not going to do a trash movie. And Jonah Hill, all these great actors, right? They're not going to do Kate Blanchett. Come on. They're not going to do a movie that doesn't have these basic foundations in place, right? So this movie has that. Now, when I hear people say this movie is good or bad, to me, what they're really trying to say is they didn't like what the story was about, or they didn't find the story itself engaging, or they didn't find it funny, and comedy is subjective, or they pick at different elements that have to do with their personal taste, not necessarily the quality of the movie. Now, some people don't like the genre. Some people don't like the comedy. Some people don't like the satire in the comedy. Some people will find whatever excuse or whatever it is that they don't like about the movie. And when it comes down to it, when we're talking about the basics, when the basics are already provided, right? We have this, like I said, good story structuring, good dialogue, good acting, good production. When you have these four components, well, it's just now subjective whether people like it or not. So in this situation, I can understand why some people might not like it, because they don't relate with the things that I've mentioned. They don't relate with the concept. They don't relate with the comedy. They don't find it funny. And that's pretty much, I get that. But to me, I found this movie hilarious because I relate with the comedy. I relate with the actors. I love these are my favorite actors put into one movie, which is unheard of. How do you get Leonardo DiCaprio and Meryl Streep and Jennifer Lawrence in the same movie, and Kate Blanchett and Jonah Hill? Some of my favorite actors. So for me, I was already excited based on just who was in the movie, right? Then the acting was fantastic. You're already going to get, who you're getting, the acting is going to be funny. The next component was the satire, the comedy, the commentary. And that's what I'm going to break down in this video. I'm going to talk about the different parallels in the storytelling, the different elements of the story that just made it so rich, so engaging, so entertaining, and so well done. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the parallels with global warming. Or even like crisis in the world, or COVID. But before we get into that, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the above. It really pushes this video out in the algorithm and encourages me to make more videos. This video is brought to you by Brand Video Pro. We help brands and influencers scale their influence and sales. So if that is of interest to you, head on over to our website, click the link down below and find out how we can help you. You can book a one-on-one consultation with me. You can take one of our courses, etc. Just click the link down below, find out how we can help you. All right, let's begin. I think that this movie was so relatable. So if you haven't seen the movie, probably should before, because I'm going to give you some spoilers, but the movie's really about a comet heading towards Earth, and everyone is just so unserious about it. Everyone is just like laughing, like ha ha ha, whatever, you know, they're just like not taking it serious, and they let these very relatable things get in the way of them fixing the problem. And this is exactly what's happening with global warming. It's like, we're not going to do anything until it's too late. And when it's too late, we're going to mess up because we were last minute. And that's what the story is about. So first of all, the parallels with global warming. So I see the parallels with global warming, and I also see the parallels with COVID. This movie was very, very relatable because it really tapped into, you very uniquely tapped into something that we all experienced at the beginning of 2020 with COVID-19. The whole world shut down. The whole world was, felt like it was in an apocalyptic state. So I don't know if the writer wrote this then or wrote it just before then, or they started production during, or whatever happened. I have no idea. But that component gave it relatability, which is very rare. And I love that they took advantage and they struck at the right time. But also making a commentary on something that we've been ignoring all this while, global warming. We've been ignoring it, but also sort of like commenting on that, how we've been ignoring global warming, but there's so many parallels between global crises like global warming and COVID. So that's very interesting. Then another theme in the movie was about the unseriousness of humanity. As I mentioned earlier, the satire comedy, in the movie, it was just about how we can be going through the most destructive things in the world. We see it in global warming. We see it in all these things. We can be going through all of that, but people will ignore it and think about their own selfish interest, and or they won't take it seriously, even though they know it's serious, or they will just sort of gaslight because they only care about themselves. And that is what the movie really captured so well in a very comedic way, because it was satire, it was on the nose, it was just great commentary on humanity, and just kind of just like unearthing how ugly the human condition is, or humans are deep down. Like, yes, part of us, we are beautiful people, but at the same time, we're ugly deep down as humans, because people just really care about themselves and their own selfish interest. And we saw that in so many ways. So there's so many moments that were just so comedic. Like when they first went to the president and explained, and the president was so unserious. Meryl Streep played the president.
Moment, I say we sit tight and assess.
Sit tight and assess?
Sit tight.
And then assess. The sit tight part comes first, then you got to digest it. That's the assessment period.
She was a representation of Donald Trump. But what was interesting to me, and what was a little bit annoying to me, is that she was so unserious. It was almost like, okay, when the first time you choose to have a woman as president, that's when you choose somebody that's unserious. And she played the role fantastically. And it was interesting to see a woman as president, but in reality, when we had somebody, who she was kind of mocking was Donald Trump, and that was a man. So guys, why is it only when you want to show someone unserious, you put a woman in there? That was annoying to me. But aside from that, she was the Donald Trump figure. They come in, first of all, there's so many themes. Oh my God. So many things. Maybe I'll make another video about the little bits and pieces of the movie that I just found so funny. But when they go into the waiting room and they're waiting for a day and she just doesn't see them, but there's a they know that there's a comet heading towards Earth. This is an urgent situation, but the president refuses to see them until the next afternoon. And in the meantime, as they're waiting in the waiting room, one of the generals, like, they have like free snacks in the White House, and he brings the snacks and he charges them like $10 or $20 each. And it's like, and it's so funny. It was a ongoing theme where Jennifer Hudson's character would like try it. Well, she'll bring it up like, I just don't understand why he sold those snacks. And she kept going on about it even like 6 months later. Like, why did he do that? But that was like part of the satire. It was cute. It was funny. But aside from that, and it just kind of also is a commentary on the greed of humanity. You know that these snacks are free in the White House, but you're charging visitors of the White House who later on found out that the snacks were free. It's just a commentary on how petty and greedy we can be as humans when we shouldn't really be that. And it was a microcosm of it. And we saw that as a theme in different levels throughout the movie. So that was one component. Then the other component was the presidential figure, which was Donald Trump, only cared about the comet when it had to do with her promoting, like she was like campaigning for the election. So it's only when it seemed as though it would benefit her campaign that she then wanted to tag along or getting rid of this comet coming. And that was such representation with Donald Trump. That's exactly what happened with Donald Trump and COVID. He did not care about COVID until, it was time to use that propaganda for his elections, for his re-election. And that's exactly what she did. She didn't care about the comet until it was time to use that for her re-election. And then we have the gaslighters, people saying that there's no comet, it's a lie, it's a lie. We see that with global warming, where people say global warming isn't real. We see that with so many like things. Even like the beginning of COVID, people were denying that it was impactful, right? So we see that a lot with humans, right? So this like people just gaslighting and saying something is not true. They just literally want to wait until they actually see the comet when it's too late for them to actually care or like make an effort to make a change. Then another interesting theme that they had, it was really a conversation about America and America, the superpower. And so it showcased the societal divisions. Like I said, like people believing, this is a lie, people believing in it, and just like the conflict that it caused. Then also a great theme was how dumb we are in social media. People only care about celebrities dating each other, and they showed that with Ariana Grande dating Kid Cudi's character. They only cared about that. The segment that they came to come and talk about the comet for the first time got like no views, but the segment about Ariana Grande and her boyfriend Kid Cudi making out or making up, that got all the views and took all the attention for the day, and they decided, we're gonna just drop this story. So many layers, so many themes. Literally, probably I do need to make another video just breaking down the different components of the movie. So if you do want that, please like this video. If this video gets up to 100 likes, I'll go ahead and I'll make a second part where I break down these different components. So that's one thing, right? Also, I want to talk about the funny moments, the snacks, the campaign. That scene about like the campaign creating jobs. I don't know. There's so many things. Definitely need to just make a full video where I break this down. Guys, 100 likes and I'll make that. Then of course the cast. Leonardo DiCaprio's character, hilarious. Jennifer Hudson's character, hilarious. Like just a great. Meryl Streep's character, Jonah Hill's character. There's so many themes and so many character relationships that were so interesting. Our character dynamics with each other that was interesting. One thing I thought that wasn't realistic is that the fact that they would leave the U.S. to be in charge of the whole mission of saving the world, it just doesn't seem realistic. What was interesting, that really big shift was when they know the comet is coming. They've come together and put this mission to, stop the comet. And as these guys are in space and they're flying there to save America or save the world, they turn around and people are like, why are they turning around? Why are they turning around? And the guy who's like a hybrid of Steve Jobs and Elon Musk and all these like tech billionaires, the character that plays that, you know, he calls a meeting in the White House and he basically announces that, well, we found all these like, you know, materials in this comet, which is worth hundreds of trillions of dollars, and they'd become so rich. So they changed their plan to trying to break up the comet into bits and pieces so it can fall into Earth and they can take it. That part was the part that was like, this is so human. Like, you're willing to risk everybody's lives, kill everybody. You're willing to kill everybody just in case you can get these minerals that are worth $100 trillion more. Like, and then they went on this whole campaign about how it's going to create jobs and all of this stuff. So many realistic themes that go on in society. Overall, the overall message was about humanity and greed, selfishness, and how we let capitalism and celebrity culture and social media addiction, all of that, control us and fuel us into greed for no purpose. And we're willing to kill ourselves because of this. So great story, great movie, very relatable, great scripting, great acting, very comedic. Again, these are things that are subjective. And in my opinion, it was very well done. And it's one of the best things that I've seen on Netflix lately. So let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the above. My name is Kenim, and see you next time. Peace. Oh yeah, 100 likes, and I'll be sure to make a part 2 where I really dissect this movie and really break it down rather than giving you this general analysis. All right.